Hello everyone, welcome to Brenda's Brush Strokes and Pisks, painting live on Thursday, July 6th at 7 p.m. Central Time. So hope everyone had a happy 4th of July on Tuesday and a great weekend. So we will let everyone get on. So we should be finishing our Red, White, and Blessed box tonight, our June box. And then I am scheduling pickup for your July box tomorrow. If you're getting the large birdhouse snowman or the Mr. and Mrs. Vintage Santa, your boxes will be going out on Monday. I forgot that I needed to paint Mrs. Santa so she can be on the directions. So when I went to print them, I realized that I need to paint her so her picture can be on there with Mr. Santa. So I'll be doing that this weekend, and then your boxes should be picked up on Monday. Otherwise, I still have about 12 of you that haven't paid, and I haven't heard from you either. So if you, once you pay, they'll ship, but it may not be the same day that you pay. It all depends what's going on here, what I'm doing, or like Tuesday is class time again, so it all depends what's going on as to when you pay, when your box ships. But it will ship once you pay. If you need to pay late, just let me know when you will be paying, and that would be really helpful. So we do have our red, white, and blue box here to finish. We have the two little hats and the big hat. So tonight we'll be touching up, I think, and then doing our glitter. And then we will also be antiquing with the Donna's Hue Black Antique that was in May's box, so you can show you guys how to use that. And then I do carry that, and there is a total of 8 colors with that as well. Then I was at a arts and crafts store on Monday, and I know that for the pan pastels, if you get a kneaded eraser, you can erase your pan pastels. So this is the actual Faber-Castell one. So I grabbed it to show you guys. These are like 80, 90 cents. So it's kneaded, K-N-E-A-D-E-D, and then eraser. So it's just a special little eraser. It's kind of rubbery. So it's just like there's some plastic on here. I haven't tried it. I just grabbed it to show you guys for a little show and tell. But apparently you can erase your pan pastels with this guy. So you can see it looks pretty gummy. So I guess that's the kneaded part. So it's just a rubbery eraser. So you'll just erase with it, and that is how you can erase your pan pastels. And I'm sure, like if you went onto Amazon, there's probably other brands out there too. This just happened to be the Faber-Castell one, which is the type of chalk that I use, so I'm sure you could use it on the Faber-Castell chalks too. But I'm just going to keep him in here because he is pretty sticky and I don't want him to get all ugly. So that is a kneaded eraser that you guys, if you want to try that for erasing your chalks. So that's just something that's out there under $1, so pretty cheap. Alright, and then this is our box that we are shipping, getting picked up tomorrow. It is your Snow Angel. So you'll be getting this yarn. This is actually called Husky. And on the back side of it, it's like a fabric, and that's where I hot glued it down onto our snowman after he was done, and on his little cuffs. I was going to do it on his scarf, but it was a little too much. So Linda says, who made that, please? This is actually the Faber-Castell brand. But I'm sure there's other brands out there too. The key word is kneaded, K-N-E-A-D-E-D, eraser. So like you're kneading bread dough. It's that type of knead. Or like when your cat's kneading their paws on you. So it's just a kneaded eraser. I'm sure it comes in other ones too. But this is our Snow Angel, so you're getting some gems, you're getting the template and the carbon paper for doing this design. I'll show you kind of how to do a halo look around that, around our nativity scene. If you don't want a nativity scene on there, you can do something else, whatever you guys want on there, but that's something I always wanted to put on this guy, and so I finally took the time to do it, and we're doing it in the box. So he's pretty cute. So that is our box that I'm shipping right now, and will get picked up tomorrow or Monday. Alright, so then we were working on our pieces, and I'm not sure where, we got to do our stars on our big hat. So I did finish the stars last week on our little hats. So we're going to do our big hats this time. So we have our OS 431 white. One of my classroom ladies did cut out vinyl stickers with her die cutting machine. So you can do that. That is a huge time saver if you wanted. But I did paint them all out. So I'm just loading up my liner. This is that 4200 long one. And then I just rest my hand on my piece and kind of outline it. So you can do the ash first or go straight to the white. Either way, you're probably going to need 2 coats of the white. So I'm just going to start with the white since I have it on there and didn't go to the ash first. Like, it's really not that big of a deal. But I'm just resting my hand on my piece and then drawing the brush towards me and kind of outlining where those indents are, where the star is. You could also buy like some star ribbon if it's wider, like the 1.5 inches. And you could put that on there, like glue that on there instead too, if you didn't want to do the stars, painting them. But I did paint them. Like it just takes a little time. It's not a hard process. It's just kind of a time-consuming process because you do have to touch things up occasionally. So I just kind of do my outlines and then I kind of brush out my paint. And now I smeared it, but that's okay. I'll just have it on my fingers here or something. And so we'll line him out. Now I got a little wide there, so I'll have to touch up with the blue. So you kind of do go back and forth, touching up a little bit when you got kind of dainty little straight lines to do. So I did post a couple, I think, sneak peeks of our August box. It was the greenware in the kiln, and on the shelf it is 3 of the seed packets from Donna Molds. And it is the pumpkin packet, the sunflower packet, and the gourd packet. So I picked the fall ones, basically. And then with the packet, one has a crow, the sunflower one has a crow with it. I gotta think here. The gourds. So there's an extra squirrel, a crow, and a scarecrow. So I'm just trying to think which one goes with which. I think the sunflower was the crows, and the pumpkin might have been the scarecrow, and the gourds is the squirrel. So it just sits beside it, so you'll actually be getting 6 pieces with the little pieces. And then there's one of each of those on your packet as well. I haven't gotten time to paint them yet. So that will be the August box, and then I do have probably 12 to 15 of the other seed packets. I just looked at them today, but I didn't pull them. I didn't have time. But I will be pulling them and putting them in the August album that's already started. I don't remember what's even in the August album, but I think the September album has the, well, maybe we don't have an August album. Maybe it's just the September with the marshmallow ghosts, tree and things. I'm not sure if we have an August album started or not. But if we don't, I will start one with the seed packet, the other seed packet. So there's all kinds of them. There's Christmas ones like holly and mistletoe. There's carrots and I can't even think of them. There's a whole bunch of them, and we have most of them, so I will be pouring them for you guys to add on. And then you can always look back at the other albums as well to add on stuff from those, although you can't comment on the albums. And comments are shut off because it's hard to keep track of them. But you can just message me if there's something in them that you want. Say you didn't get like the Mr. and Mrs. Santa this month and you want to get it next month, like you can just message me and I'll add it to your invoice. So that mold is the original Atlantic mold. It's not the small Clay Magic ones. So let me see. Paula says, what month is the candle special? I think the candle special was September also. And I did do like a package deal with those because I know a lot of people don't know what to do with the lights for those, and Marcella showed me what they use for the lights for those, so I'll be ordering those and making like a kit so that you get the lights and the candles and then the pedestals I'd kind of put a special price on it as an all-in-one if you guys get all of it. I think there's like $10 off on it. And I think that's in the September one also. And they are brand new molds from Clay Magic. The last time I got a Clay Magic order, I did order brand new, those candles all brand new. So they won't be worn out. And I know Courtney always wanted those, so maybe I'll have to make her a set even. So I'm just outlining our stars. And it's just really important that you rest your hand on your piece and that your piece is steady or solid so that you can get nice straight lines. Otherwise you have to do more and more touch up. I know the ladies at the shop really enjoyed these. A few of them made extra sets for their family after they seen them on 4th of July weekend, so that was nice. Just going to keep working our way around. We're doing a little bit of rearranging at the classroom, trying to add more shelving. We actually kind of have a porch off of the classroom, and we're putting plastic over the screen and adding shelving units out there. We do get the cold winter, but it's on the north side of the house, so it's blocked from the wind and the snow and the rain and stuff, so it worked. I think it's going to work out really good. We can get, let's see, 4, 8, 9, probably 12 more shelving units of bisque we'll be adding. For now, we're putting the animals, all the wildlife and the native stuff out there because it's kind of becoming fall and Christmas season. So we'll have the inside with fall and Christmas, and then if anyone wants natives or animals, and I think gardening, we're going to put the garden stuff out there too. So we're just trying to add more stuff because I got all those molds to pour, so we got to keep making room and keep pouring. That's always a lot of extra work because you have to unload the shelves and clean the area, and it's not level, so we're getting the floor, got some boards on the floor to level the shelves out, and of course there's cleaning to do. And then we do have our Fashion Hues retreat next month, which is finally getting here. Been planning that for about 2 years already. So we're getting kind of on the countdown for that. So that should be a lot of fun. Kind of planning the swag bags and some activities besides painting and all that good stuff too. So there are 2 openings yet. If anyone is interested, you can message me. It is a certification and not just like a Fashion Use painting class. It's actually certification, learning how to use all of their products. And then I will be carrying the Fashion Use line as well, so that should be fun. Hopefully I can figure out something to do in our box using something of Fashion Use. We'll have to see. Let's see, what else is going on? I picked some strawberries last week with Courtney. I think we might have talked about that because that was probably on Thursday. Anybody got any questions with anything? What month is the candle special? Okay, we already talked about that. That's for September. October will be Clay Magic. It's the gourd that's cut in half. And I don't remember if it says blessed or thankful, but it has the cornucopia on it. So you'll be getting the 2 sizes of that. And then I do have the other 2 large sizes that you will be able to add on. So I will, I have them poured, but I don't have them fired. So once I have them fired, I will make an album with those too. So lots of stuff going on, just trying to keep the boxes fun for you guys and different bisque for you guys to pick from and stuff like that. We do have the Waukesha show coming up in August. That's about, I think it's like almost it's 2.5 hours from here. So I'll be going to that. Likely on Friday. So if anyone's there and sees me, you'll have to wave me down and say hi. I know last year I got to see a few of you, so that was nice. I took a make and take Fashion Hues class last year, and then I did a one of Paula McCoy's Colors for Earth classes with the color concentrates, I think it was. I'm not sure if we're taking any classes this year or not, but that's the fun part, I think, of going to the shows. If you have them near you, the different people in the business are there giving classes. And you do have to pay for them, but it's a great opportunity to learn something new that you may not normally get to do. There's usually people there selling bisque. There's usually glazers there selling supplies. It all depends where you're at, who's there doing what, but different people are there selling different ceramic related stuff. So it's always good to go to those and like help support those people traveling too, because it's a lot of expenses to travel and set up at a show and offer classes. You got your traveling and your hotel and all that stuff. So it's good if you're close enough to those shows that you can go and support the industry so we can keep going. Mako usually has a representative at ours. Michael Harbridge will be there. Paula McCoy with Colors for Earth. I'm not sure who else is all there. There's a lady, Lori Wickman, doing a raku workshop. So it's just fun to go and see the different products that are out there and the different classes. And of course those shows used to be bigger and better, but at least they're doing them yet, and we can still go see things that are going on in the industry. You can usually order molds and pick them up at those shows. They used to offer, there were more mold companies that were there, but now it's pretty limited, but there's still some, and Like if you like the Noel mold, you can, there's usually somebody there representing them. Someone's there representing Clay Magic. So you can get the molds, and a lot of times they have free shipping on them then, like as you're picking them up at the show. I'm going to be actually checking out to see if there's anybody there with decals, because some of the ladies are asking for decals at the classroom, and that's something we don't see too much of anymore, but decals used to be a really big thing in ceramics. You could do them on plates and cups and little vases and all different kinds of things. They're usually fired on. So you would glaze your piece and fire it, and then you cut your decal and you put it in water. So they're called water slide decals. You kind of cut it, trim it down to around the shape of your print, whatever it is, flowers or wildlife or whatever. You cut it kind of close to it, kind of trim it out, and then you put it in a bowl of usually lukewarm water, and you let it sit in there for maybe 30 seconds to a minute, and the water like activates the glue on the back of the decal, and it lets loose. And then you, once it starts getting loose, before it lets loose, you kind of take it out of the water and put it onto your clean glazed piece, and then you kind of gently pull the backing, slide the backing out from underneath it, and then you like squeegee the water out from underneath it and kind of burnish it down, and then you let that dry, and then you fire it, and it's like fired right into your glaze basically. It's very sturdy that way. Usually dishwasher safe and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully there's a decal there and we can grab up some decals. Now, I do know some people that will take those same decals and put them on a sealed acrylic piece, and then put the brush-on sealer, several layers of the brush-on sealer over the top of them. So I'm hoping that I can maybe get something that we could do in the box so we could show you guys how to actually use decals. Maybe on a little vase or something. So I don't remember any decal people being there last year, but maybe there will be, and maybe I just wasn't looking for it and didn't see it either. So there used to be a couple of them at each show, because you could get cardinals and birds and wildlife and anniversary and birthday, like there's kind of a ton of things. And rather than doing all that work yourself and painting it out, you just put that decal on and then you can fire it. But we would probably do one where we put all the brush-on sealer on it to seal it. So hopefully that will be something I'll be looking for. But otherwise, we got one coat on our stars, and I'm just gonna work my way back around. You basically want your white so that you can't see through it. And as you can see, it just takes time, and just lining it out again and then brushing that paint out. I think Michael Harbridge is doing clay things, so I probably won't take a class with that, just because I'm probably looking more for things for the box, for you guys, for different things to do in the box. I know there was going to be a Fashion Hues Make and Take lady there, so maybe she'll have something simple that we could do in the box. A lot of Paula McCoy's things are all fired, so I don't know that that's going to be something she'll have anything that we can do, but we'll check it out and see what's there, and have a nice day. It's hard to believe that it's that time of the year already, because by That's always reminds me of like fall and when school's going to start. Because it's like the 17th, 18th, or the 18th, 19th of August, and then like 2 weeks later school starts already, so it's hard to believe that we're talking about that kind of stuff already. Seems like it takes forever for summer to get here, and then it's gone before we know it. We've had a really hot and dry summer here. We were supposed to have rain yesterday, but we didn't. We had some rain, but it wasn't enough to like get rid of the dryness outside. We kind of had 90s all weekend, so it was great for, I guess the 4th of July people that are boating and doing all of that kind of stuff. So Patty says we had a class here with Paula a couple weeks ago, and she said did some ornaments that didn't require firing. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, she does that, where she uses that paste, that sculpturing paste on ornaments. And that was something I wanted to try for the box too, but I kind of, I actually even have the piping bags, but then we ended up doing the hummingbird vase instead. So her ornaments are beautiful. So Cindy says they start school August 4th. Wow, that's really early. So definitely check out and see what she has to see if we can find that's something different for our boxes. Maybe even just a product or technique or whatever, anything that we can do new. She makes it look so easy. Yeah, she's a beautiful painter. So we're just filling out our white here and trying to make it look nice and neat so I don't have to touch it up too many times. I kind of miss getting you make look so easy. It is pretty easy. Like I'm just holding my piece steady and then I'm just resting my hand on the hat there, so that my hand is nice and steady. I mean, normally I have it pulled in to my stomach, but then you guys wouldn't be able to see it because it would be in my lap instead of on the table. But it's probably better to pull your piece up close to your body. That kind of helps with the steadiness of it. So do any of you guys use your Cricuts for doing things? I'm a little worried my stars are going to look. They'll be okay. I had a rough time painting the stars and getting them straight. Yeah, like you could probably buy star stickers and do that too. Or if you know someone like with one of those die cutting machines, just have them cut them out in vinyl. And then it is kind of forgiving once you start putting the glitter on. You can cover it up a little bit. But I think I only did the red on the hat, but you could do like the blue too. But then you have to go be, shooting stars, that's a good one. You kind of have to get your gloss sealer straight too, because if that's not straight, then your glitter won't be straight either, so. I know Linda, she used her Cricut and she loved that, how well that worked. She just put the vinyl white stickers on and away she went. And I do have a Cricut, but I kind of forget to use it. It's actually one of the very old ones that still uses the cartridges instead of going online. We just don't have good internet out at the classroom. Actually, basically now with summer with the trees out, we have like no internet. And I even got a different phone service, the AT&T, and that didn't help either. So it's just kind of a dead zone out there, which is too bad because I would have liked to have done a bisque sale out there that we could just take the stuff right off the shelves, because we need to make room here now for Christmas and fall. So I'll have to see if Courtney will do a bisque sale with me, or if you guys are ready for a bisque sale, or would you like to wait maybe more till fall for one, because we do need to clean off some shelves and make some room out there again. Linda could sell stars. I'll have to tell her that. I mean, you could probably make a silk screen template too and do your stars that way. And the silk screen is using one of the die cutting machines too, so you just use the 80 mesh silk and iron it onto the back of your heat transfer vinyl. So let me see, I lost where I'm at here with too much talking. Let me see, someone says they're always up for a big bisque sale. Okay. Fall sale would be good, okay. Maybe we'll do one after, maybe in September, after our Fashion Hughes retreat and all that. Because right now the shop is in a mess with putting shelves on the porch and taking stuff out of the bedroom, the one back room, and putting that out there. And it just would be nice if we could do it out there and not have to bring it to the house. So it looks like I missed part of that guy, so I'll have to go back and touch him up. So what is everyone using for your aerosol sealers now that we don't have the Dunkin' ones? I have the Krylon at the shop. So I'm just wondering what you guys are using and what you like or don't like. I did go to Sherwin-Williams and got theirs, but that's really glossy. Kind of looking for something that's more of a satin look. The Krylon is the matte. So are you guys using the aerosols, like from Walmart or the departments, the hardware stores, or are you using the brush-on, Dunkin' and Mako? I stockpiled on satin, okay. I did just get another case of satin for the shop from when I got clay. They had the slip stuff. They did have some satin yet, but that stuff's going to be running out here pretty soon, I'm sure. So we'd probably want to check, touch up our navy. So we have OS 460 navy. I think I have like 4 different brands out at the classroom. I have the Aleen's, I have the something that Michael's had, something that Hobby Lobby had, and then something that the hardware store, and then something that like Sherwin-Williams had. We've pretty much been using the Krylon brand, which seems okay. It takes a little bit longer to dry than the Dunkin' did, but not real long. So I just want to go with my blue now and kind of look for anything that's really out of line, and like just kind of touch it up, make it nice straight lines if we can. Sometimes you end up touching up more than if you just left it alone. So you kind of got to make that call. I was always a really big fan of the satin, so I'm kind of struggling with not having satin. I especially like that on snowmen and anything that you wanted to make look kind of a little bit wet, but not too wet. Or not too shiny, just a little shiny. I'm kind of just looking for the ones that are like really obviously messed up, like this guy here. He's got too much white and we kind of lost his point. And he's kind of white at the bottom here, and then kind of lost his point right there too. So I just kind of worked my way around and just kind of touch them up a little bit. And you kind of got to turn your hat different angles to get the different areas, just to make it easier for you. And this guy don't have much of a point on here, so we got to kind of give him a point. And it takes a little extra time to go back and touch things up, but it really makes everything look better. So you kind of want to take that time to do that. You know, like him, he's got a little bitty extra white tail there on the end, so sometimes it doesn't take much to touch it up. And sometimes you got to do the whole side of the star. So I did order, I think it was before last week when we talked about it too, that all of your molds for January through July are ordered through Creative Paradise. So you'll be getting Kimple molds. We'll be using Kimple molds, Creative Paradise molds, and then there's some TL molds that we'll have in one of the boxes too. So, and then you'll also have Donna molds that I already, those will be our Easter ones that I already have as well. So we have 4 different mold companies for next year already. Trying to spread it around and have different mold companies, because like different ones kind of have different styles, so it's kind of nice to use the different companies and not just the same one always. We'll have Clay Magic yet this year, and we will have Duncan yet this year. What else do we have?
You have at least 25 appointments. Here are the first 3. All day January 1st, 2023, New Year's Day. All day January 1st, 2023, New Year's Day.
Stop.
All day January 2nd, 2023, New Year's Day substitute. Do you want to hear the next 3?
Stop.
Okay.
I don't know why the calendar kicked in there, you guys, but she's a little behind talking about January. Okay, so it looks like we got our white picked up pretty good. And I just want to look at my blue going around the red here. Make sure that looks pretty good too. And that looks pretty good, so we can touch up our black, which is our OS 476, because I want to make sure we get to the glitter and all that tonight, and our antiquing. So I'm just going to use a nylon brush to touch up my black where I got white all over here. I get the dust on my hands from going inside the, holding my hands inside the hat there. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's see this guy here. Okay, wash out my brush. Now let's take a look at our directions. So we got our black all done. We have everything kind of trimmed out. I just kind of double checked them. So now I would spray them with, I used the matte sealer, but I won't spray in the house here. I painted the insides of mine. Yep, you can do that. I only painted as far as the rims. But you could use these either way, like you could put floral foam in there and put some Spanish moss on it and then put fireworks and all that kind of stuff in them too. Alright, so now we have our brush on sealer for the hat and sprinkled with black glitter. So let me get a plate. I meant to grab a styrofoam plate, so hold on. I like to catch the glitter with something. Actually, let's antique one of these first. So we have our antiquing solution that you guys got in last month's box, and we'll just do one of them so you can see the difference. So this is a water-based product. It's not oil-based. And it comes in different colors. So you can spray seal this first, and then you'll have a very... it won't be as strong, your black teak. Your antiquing is going to be real subdued. So I'm going to do this one without antiquing it first, or without sealing it first, so that you can see the difference when you don't antique it first. And then I do have a little container of water here. And then this is like the flour sack dish towels, or like a cotton shirt works really well too, a cotton t-shirt. Alright, so I'm going to dip into my black, and I don't like to do the whole thing at one time because it can get too dark and it'll dry. So I just kind of do it just like when we're color washing in sections. So I'm just painting it on. We'll do about half of it. And I do put it on the black also, even though it is black antiquing, just so that it all has the same color. So I just have like half of it done. Just brushing it on. And you don't want it to like dry on you while it's on there. So now I'm going to take my damp cloth, and now I'm just going to wipe across and like wipe it off. And if you want like more to come off, you can go to another area on your clean rag, your damp rag. I kind of like to like strip it right over my finger. So that is how you can antique with the Donna's Antique. So now we'll go and do the rest of it. So it's very simple. Like we're just brushing it on, getting it on the whole thing. You just don't want to do too much of it at one time so that it dries and then you can't wipe it off. And it doesn't take a whole lot, like that little jar will go a long ways for you. Alrighty. So again, I'm going to get my little damp rag here. And I kind of want to wipe it about the same amount so that it matches the other side that we already did. And so our black is just going down into the crevices and just giving it a kind of an old vintage look, I guess you could say. And then I just kind of want to look at it and make sure that it all kind of looks even. If I need to wipe more off somewhere, I can go to a clean part of my damp rag. And if I need to put more black on, I can go to like the black area of my rag and kind of wipe it back on. If you want, you can like wring your rag out and get it clean again. Say you wanted to get more off. So that's all there is to antiquing it. So now we can see that, hopefully you can see that the new one is darker than the one in my right hand, because this one I sealed first. I guess you can't really see too much on the screen, but it is a shade darker than the one in my right hand, but that's how it looks when it's antiqued. And so now if we look at this one that's not antiqued, you can see that our white is really white and bright, where this one it's more dull. So hopefully you can see the difference with antiquing. And if you want it antiqued more, like you just don't wipe as much off, so we can put more on. So it all depends how grungy you want it. Like you can have it darker too. So you could have it a lot, like a lot darker than what this one was. It just depends how dark you want it. I kind of like it a little bit lighter, so I'm going to wipe some of that off. But depending upon how much you wipe off, that's how antiqued it will be. But it just gives it a nice look. It kind of helps cover up if you don't have straight lines as well. That's a good way to kind of camouflage non-imperfections. You can camouflage imperfections with the antiquing stuff because it goes down in the crevices and it kind of hides things. So that is another thing that's good for. And then you just want to keep your cover on there nice and tight. And again, this comes like in 8 different colors. There's a couple browns, there's black, there's gray, there's blue. It is in one of the albums. I still don't have my cover on straight. I did a special, I think in May, so it's probably in May's album. There's like 8 colors. So that is our antiquing stuff. All right, so now we can go back to our glittering, make a mess. And then you can just wash the brush out because it's not oil-based. You can wash it right out in your water. So you don't have to have mineral spirits or anything like that. That's what's kind of nice about that. All right. So now we are going to go back to glittering. So I would seal this with my spray sealer. And then I have my gloss sealer, and we want to shake that up. And you can use gloss or matte, like it really doesn't matter. I like to put a puddle on my paper there. And then this guy we did black, so I'm just going to use my brush. Yeah, again, I'm just using my nylon. This is a size 6, a size 6. And I just want to brush my gloss sealer on, kind of generous. You don't want it so generous that it runs, but right out to where my black line is. And again, I won't do all of it so that it dries too fast. And just kind of brush it out a little bit. And just work my way around till I got about halfway. And then just come back in here and kind of get a whole bunch of sealer on there. can do 1/3 of it, that works too. I just like to break it up into little areas so that it doesn't, that way your sealer doesn't dry out on you. All right, and then we have our black, where'd it go? Which is actually in our shaker. And he's really in there. So I'm not going to tear all of it off because then it's really going to sprinkle out. I'm just going to tear some of it off. And then I'm going to sprinkle over my plate so it kind of catches everything. So your shakers were part of your box. So I'm just getting a nice coat where my gloss sealer was, and then I just dump it and pat it onto my plate. And then we will just do the next section. But you do want to kind of be fairly generous with your gloss sealer so that your glitter does stick, and you don't want to wait too long so that it's drying on you. So it looks kind of milky and wet. That's what you want. If it's getting shiny and dry, then just do a smaller area and maybe do a little more gloss sealer or whatever brush on sealer you're using. You could even use like Elmer's glue that's thinned out. And then I kind of overlap it just a little bit where we left off. And then we just sprinkle again. So I really like the little shakers for this stuff. And just tap it onto our plate. And just work our way around. Like I said, you want to be generous. You don't want to brush that out a lot so that there's hardly anything on it. You want to kind of have a nice layer of it on there. That way your glitter's got something to stick to. And it doesn't dry up before you get your glitter on. And you can do like whatever colors you want on these. You don't have to do the black on the hat just because I did the black. Like you can do whatever way you like to do them. All right, so we get the rest of our hat here. Tap that onto there. So that's all there is to doing, putting your glitter on. And we'll go around the rim here. Let's see, yep, we're going to go around the rim. And again, I'm not going to do all of it so that it doesn't dry up on me before I get the glitter on. But you want it kind of nice and milky. Where do we get the shakers from? I got them off of Amazon, but I do have more if anybody wants more. Like you can purchase them from me, I guess. I did get an extra case of them. Just message me about it. Like salt and pepper shakers work too, that you can get like at the Dollar Tree, but you have to like put tape over a pretty big area, more of it, because like they're bigger shakers. But you did have 2 in your box, so like you can use one color of glitter and then use it and then dump it out. So there you can keep using it for the different colors. But just make sure you're getting enough of your gloss sealer on there so your glitter has something to stick to. And like it's not so thick that it's running. I used the plastic mini salt and pepper shakers from Amazon. They work great. Okay, plastic ones. Okay. At the classroom, we have the ones from the Dollar Tree, and I just have like all the glitter colors in them, and then they're in like a little shoebox, and everybody just, whenever they want them, we just get out that shoebox and we're just going to keep working our way around. So it's not a hard thing, it's just a little bit putsy. I guess kind of like the stars are a little putsy, huh? So I need some more sealer. Make sure I get sealer and not paint. As you can see, like I'm being pretty generous with the gloss sealer. Like I'm not brushing it out a lot, but it's not so thick that it's running either. And then you want to get it straight because that's going to, however you have your sealer on there, that's how your glitter is going to show too. So. We'll just work our way around. And now we'll have glitter everywhere for the rest of the summer. If you spray, like I actually spray right over the glitter too. With the sealer, and that helps kind of anchor that sealer down. The sealer kind of helps anchor that glitter down so it doesn't get everywhere. So that's why I kind of like the satin. I always use the satin for that. So we're just going to get some more on here. There we go. We have our hat all nice and glittered. And then I just let that dry. I'm actually going to sit him in a plate. And then I usually just take this. Whoop, if I don't spill it all over the table first. And you can like put it right back into your container. Try to save some of it anyway. Probably got more on the table than on the thing, but that's okay. We saved some of it. All right. And next we'll do our silver. Oh, let's do our red. Oh, let's see. We gotta look at our hat. I think I got red on there too. Okay, so we do have the red on here too. So I'm gonna let the black dry. And we'll go to one of our little ones and do the silver while the black is drying. So let's see here. I'm going to actually dump my black out after I put it back in there, right? Put our black aside. And then you guys did have some little containers. Where'd the silver go? Right here. So we'll just see if we can make a little funnel here. And put our silver in there, maybe. So a regular piece of paper would probably work better than the paper towel, but that's what I got on the table here, so that's what we're using. All right, so we got some silver. All right, so let's see, we did the silver with the whole hat too, kind of the same areas as the black one. And then I just want to brush right up to the edges. So the hat's the top. This hat's kind of little, so I would just go ahead and do the whole top instead of breaking it down into little sections. But again, you want make sure you have enough on there. Don't be too skimpy with it. That way your glitter's got something to stick to. It's kind of drying right there. You can see it's kind of drying, so we'll just put a little layer on that. And we'll get another paper plate here. And we'll sprinkle our silver on. Give it a tap. And then I did put it on the rim too, so we'll put it on the rim. A little more gloss sealer. Like you could do whatever parts of these you want. Like if you didn't want to do this part, you only want to do the stars, or you only want to do the bands, like do whatever you want. So the rim I'll probably just do like half of it at a time so it doesn't dry on me. Just shake it on there. And then kind of tap it off. Move it around. And we'll do the other half. Now I do tend to overlap it a little bit. Work our way around. Alrighty, and we'll sprinkle our silver back on the rest of it here. Hopefully my hand's not in the way and you can see me doing it. Tap it off. So there we have our cute silver hat. And if you need to go back and add some more, like here I see it's missing, you can come back and add a little bit of our gloss sealer. And then just sprinkle some on there and tap it off. And it's fine, like it doesn't hurt anything. So that's how you do your silver. So let's put that aside. Tap that into there. And I'll put what's left on the plate into the container. And now we'll go to our blue. And we'll just take our little paper towel again. Kind of make our little funnel. You could have done your glitter the same on all of them. Like I just did them all different so you guys could see which way you preferred to do it. And you guys have lots of glitter, so I made sure you had plenty of extra glitter. All right, let's do our other hat. Now this guy I did with the around the stars, so I used my little liner brush, and I'm going to wash my other brush out. You want to wash your brush out really, really good so that gloss sealer don't get up in there. But to go around the stars, I just used the liner brush. So this took a little bit longer just because you got to kind of go around everything. And I did it in kind of smaller sections too, because I don't want to get glitter all over my star and cover up my stars after all that work to outline them. So the blue probably it takes a little bit longer because you got to go around the stars, but it's not really that bad. You just got to keep turning it so that you can get around both sides of the stars. And then if your white is a little off, you can bring the gloss up over it, and that'll kind of work on your stars too to get the shape back in them. But you do need a smaller brush because you got them stars to go around, so you kind of do have to get a smaller brush. And just kind of trace around the stars with the brush. You can pretty much see where the gloss is going. So I think that's our third star, so I think we'll do some shaking now. We don't want it to get dry. We don't want our sealer to get dry. So we'll shake our blue on. And I just shake it right over the stars because there's no sealer on them, so that's just going to come right off anyway. So just tap it off, and you can see it comes right off. So the glitter is kind of fun. I know it's messy, but it's kind of fun to do. Kind of jazz things up. So is everybody going to glitter theirs, or are you guys going to skip glittering? I think people either like glitter or they hate glitter. I know the little girls, when they come to the classroom, they pretty much love glitter. Even the boys, as far as that goes. The younger kids. Usually if one wants glitter, the whole crew ends up wanting glitter. We've had glittered foxes and unicorns and everything else already. But if that makes you happy, you gotta glitter it up then. So it takes a little time, but it's not too bad. It's not like it's hours and hours. Alright, we'll sprinkle our blue. I'm going to glitter mine. Okay, good. Just hate to send glitter if you guys really, the majority of you don't really like the glitter. We don't have to send a glitter, but it just seemed like they needed glitter for the fireworks. I think I just heard fireworks. So everybody got plans for the weekend, or is everybody recovering from the 4th of July? Alrighty, so we're going to shake it. Let me see, I cheated on the stars. It's just my Cricut. Oh, good for you. So we almost made our way around here. So I do like this band part in little sections just because it takes longer to go around the stars, and I don't want the sealer to like dry up on me. So that's why I'm breaking it down into like 4 little sections, just so that the gloss sealer doesn't dry. If I did the whole thing, by the time I got back to the beginning, it would be all dry and the glitter wouldn't stick. So that's why I kind of break it down into 3 or 4 little sections, just because it takes more time to paint the sealer on here. You want to be careful you don't get the one behind you. Again, I just shake it right over the stars because there's no sealer on those, so it's not going to stick to those. If it's on the rest of it, like I just leave that now till it's dry, and it'll brush right off then. So that is our blue hat. And now we can go back to our red on our big hat. So I will wash out my little brush again because I don't want that gloss sealer to get in there and wreck it. And I will go to my bigger brush that I had before. And now I'm just going to line out my red areas for my red glitter. And I'll probably do like 1 red area at a time. There is lining out, but it's not as much as with the stars, so it goes pretty fast. It shouldn't dry up on me. And it kind of comes up over the top, so we want to get up over the top here. And then kind of write down our red line here. And if it's like drying out on you, then break the red into sections too. And try not to put your fingers in it like I just did. So I usually line it out and then I just come back and kind of wet the center of it again. And then kind of brush it out so there's no big puddles. Oh, and we didn't open our red one. Can you use Mod Podge? Sure, you can use Mod Podge. That'll work too. You could even use like some thinned out Elmer's glue. That would work too. So we're just going to sprinkle our red on now. And then I tap it off, and so we have our nice red. It does work really nice. This is the fine glitter. So you can get glitter in different sizes. Like you could probably even get like you can get different confetti in your glitter too, depending upon where you get your glitter from. Like there's different glitter places online. And they have all kinds of little fancy stuff in their glitter. Like you could even do that. It'd be maybe kind of cool to have like stars in the glitter. I didn't even think of that. And they have different, you can get all kinds of different color combinations of glitter when you're like shopping at like the glitter.com and glitter warehouses and all that kind of stuff. Tap that off. So I just start on one and I just keep working my way right around. Try not to get my hands in the wet stuff. So have any of you guys used the porcelain painting pens that you can paint on different things like glass and your ceramics and then you bake it in your oven? I've seen some of those on Monday when we were at the arts and crafts store. They're not actually food safe, but they're pretty Like it's pretty safe, like it's dishwasher safe and everything. They were called porcelain painting pens. Tap it off. Because like our black is already, like it's pretty much dried, like our red isn't sticking to that. So that's why I kind of want to set that aside. You could put the blue on the band on this guy too. So it's really whatever you like. And I'm just using a nylon, like a size 6 brush to put it on. And getting it not so heavy that it runs, but pretty heavy. So that it doesn't dry before I get the glitter on it. So I kind of outline it and then I come back and kind of fill in the inside. And if it looks like it's dry somewhere, I just go back over it. And then we'll sprinkle. Tap, and he's starting to look like a pretty fancy hat here. Oh, and I just rolled my brush handle in the gloss sealer. That should be interesting. All right, we got one more to do. So there's tons of different glitter out there already. So kind of like that tinsel glitter that we've used, and oh, there's confetti stuff and all kinds of stuff. So you could really jazz stuff up with glitter today. I think because they used a lot of that in those, like the drinking tumblers with the vinyl and stuff. They put like the glitter on those things. So it's easy to do. Like you just brush on your gloss sealer. You want it pretty straight lines because you don't want real crooked, because then your glitter is going to be crooked on the outside edges. But you want it pretty straight. You want it pretty heavy, not so heavy that it runs, but pretty heavy. And then we just sprinkle it. And I like to have like the plate to catch it, because then I can recycle my put my glitters back into their container so we can reuse it, because it's not, there's nothing wrong with it. So there we have our fancy hat. Look at that. He's all ready for the 4th of July for next year. So that is our glittered up hats. So they're looking pretty darn good. And then we have our blue one. That's antiqued. All right, so we have fancy hats there, you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed those. And then, like, I would just let it dry till tomorrow, and then you can come back and, like, brush all that extra off. It'll come right off. So we got glitter all over it. That's the only thing with glitter. All right, so let's put the lid on some of this so we don't make a mess. Wash out your brushes. That's really important with that gloss sealer. Like, you really want to brush your brushes out good. So I just go back and forth across my Harold's brush pad. And that's nice and clean. Same with my little one. I just gently go back and forth across there. That cleans it right out. Close your tops. So we made it, and we have our hats done. And I usually just wad this up so I don't have to scrape the tile off. Put this aside, and then we can show you the box that I'm shipping again. Anybody got any glitter questions or anything Let me see, Mod Podge, just tried the acrylic pens. Okay, no, Florida show, don't show. Okay. I'm going to a Christmas in July sale. I cheated on the stars. I did red and black on the hats and on the firecrackers. Oh, that's cute. Like you could even do like the red and, or the blue and white, and then like the, how did they do? They put that black line through it for the police officers, so you could even do them that way, with the black line for the police officers. So that's just another way you can do your hats, or do them with Christmas. But this is your next box. It's called Angels Among Us, and it is our snow angel. He's nice and big. We have our tinsel halo that will be in your box. We have the fur. This is called Husky, and it's actually yarn. It's from the yarn department, but there's a little fabric strip on the back, and that's what I glued those down with. So if you start out early with yours, that's what you can do. I just like pre-measured it for the cuffs. I just started in the back with the back one and worked my way around. I did a little bit of hot glue as I went. I do have the gems on our snowflakes, and you could also take a Sharpie if you wanted and like put yellow coloring on the star on the for the nativity. And if you don't want to use the nativity template, like you could do something else with your do a different design, whatever you want, or not do a design. So that is our box that we're shipping. It's getting picked up tomorrow. If you haven't paid, yours won't be getting picked up tomorrow. But once you pay, I will be boxing then those next week or whenever they get paid. Anyone getting the Mr. and Mrs. Santa and the large birdhouse snowman, those boxes will be getting picked up on Monday. I need to paint Mrs. Santa because she needs to have her picture on your instructions, because you will be getting, whoever ordered those, the instructions for those with both of them. And that is the 14-inch Atlantic molds that I have. They're like new. Clay Magic did come out with the 8-inch ones, but mine are the 14-inch. And there's actually another size that's even bigger, but those molds are so big when we came across those a couple times, but I didn't get them because the molds are they're just too big for the really big set. But I did get the 14-inch ones, and they're really nice, and quite a few of you guys got that, but they'll be shipping on Monday then. So if anybody has any questions, you guys can always message me. You're also getting a specialized paintbrush in your box as your featured item. It's a comb brush, and we will show you how to make fur with that brush. It's good for making fur or flowers or grass. But that is the featured item in your box. It is a comb brush. It's a specialty brush. And next month you'll get another specialty brush. And then the following months you will be getting a dry brush. So you'll be getting the Royal Majestic dry brushes. You'll get 1 in 3 in round and 1 in 3 in flat. So that will be your extras for the rest of the year. So I think that's about it, but like always, if you guys have questions, if something wasn't in on your invoice, something not right, just let me know. If something comes broke, take a picture when you open it and message me, but I packed these guys really tight in there because they do have this big round belly. So they're packed in there nice and tight. There's a little bit extra paper in there probably this time just to make sure that they're packed in there tight, because you kind of get that hollowness that wants to break. So hopefully we don't have any broke ones. So otherwise, I guess you guys have a great week and have a great weekend and enjoy your summer because it's flying by. And we'll look forward to having your boxes picked up tomorrow. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Bye-bye. Have a good week.